I finally got my 2024 books, and I understand why some people are unhappy, and I understand why others are happy. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to start with this player's handbook. I love the design, number one. Now that I have the books, I can finally put up my three books from original 2014. 2014. And these have such good memories. I mentioned them before, and from the looks of it, it seems like this is same size, but in terms of height and stuff like that. But this book is way thicker. I didn't check to see how many pages. I guess I could, because that really wasn't on my mind. But this is about 314 pages, and this one is about 384. So it seems like it's more content based off of pages. I didn't check the font size and stuff like that. But the main issue that I wanted to mention was the Paladin, because the Paladin, I see why a lot of people are upset. When I first read it, I was like, oh no, they crushed the Paladin. They did it dirty. Because I read it like the Paladin Smite. In fact, I'm going to go to the page. Because I read it as, okay, you can only use this once per day. What are they thinking? That is crazy. But it's their ability that they can only use once per day when they get the Divine Smite for free. So at second level, Paladin Smite, you always have the Divine Smite spell prepared. In addition, you can cast it without expending a spell slot, but you must finish a long rest before you can cast it in this way again. So what I thought, oh, okay, so you can only cast this once per day. Crazy. But no, you can cast it without a spell slot once per day. And they turned Divine Smite into a bonus action. Okay, understand it. So now you're not going to have any dual wielding paladins because now your bonus action, instead of attacking with your offhand weapon, I don't know if they changed that dual wielding for 2024, but in I'm going to say first edition, the original fifth edition, 2024, 2014, you would have to use your bonus action to attack with your offhand weapon. Now you can't do that. No dual wielding paladins. I think personally, if they wanted to bring in the smite, that they could have just said, okay, you can only use it once per turn. Use the ability once per turn. So you didn't have to make a separate spell called Divine Smite because you already have these other different types of smites. So it's like, so they really nerfed it more than they needed to, from what I understand. But it's not too bad. It's pretty bad. But they increase sorcerers, and I'm happy about that. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm like, okay, I can get this edition, because sorcerer is my favorite class. And my main issue with the 2014 version was that they had so few spells. They get maximum of 15 spells at level 20. I'm like, oh, I'm missing out on good stuff. And in the Unearthed Arcana for the Storm Sorcerer, they gave you some bonus spells, but then they took it off because they didn't want it to be overpowered compared to the Draconic, instead of just making a errata and just giving Draconic. But now they fixed it. They gave Draconic bonus spells with the other Sorcerer bloodlines. I do not like the fact that you get the Sorcerer bloodline at third level, because the bloodline is key. I know they did it to just make everything for the subclasses uniform, but classes can be different. They don't all have to get subclasses at that third level. That's one of the reasons why I will still prefer Pathfinder 2E just for right now, is that I like their multi-classing system more than 5th edition, mainly because in 5th edition, and of course Pathfinder 1st edition, when you multi-class, you stop leveling up in your main class and then you level up in this other class. So you're missing out on the higher level abilities of your main class to get some things that you want from this other class. Okay, I can see fair, blah, 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 blah. But usually first level abilities aren't going to match with a 20th level ability. It's not going to compare, assuming that you're playing a full 20th level campaign. Um, so there's that. But in Pathfinder 2E, you're not getting everything of the class you're multi-classing into with the multi-class archetype feed. You just get the flavor and some of the things. So some players might rather have the full things and stuff like that. So there's that balance, but I'll still prefer the Pathfinder 2E system. And with my plans on implementing epic content, the Pathfinder 2E system is more adaptable with it when it comes to multi-classing, because with the epic system it's only going to have the epic classes, and if you're expected to be level 20 in the base class. So for the epic barbarian you are expected to be level 20 barbarian before you get into that. So there's that. um and that is okay. Now to the monster manual. I did hear people say, okay, there's not a lot of lore in here and stuff like that. And honestly, this is not a lore book, in my opinion. So you really don't need a whole lot of lore. From what I've seen, it has enough lore for me to understand the monster. Plus, I've been playing D&D 5th edition since not the actual year 2014, but the original 5th edition. And I've played Pathfinder and Pathfinder 6th edition. So I'm already pretty much familiar on the lore, but it's just I really don't need lore. What I'm really upset is that they took out monsters from their little umbrella, so you won't find demons all in one section, or devils all in one section, or dragons all in one section. It's like, if I want to get all the demons and devils, I would like to just scroll to the demon section or the devil section and then look, okay, what falls under it. It's just easier, in my opinion, but is kind of annoying because I'm more likely to remember, okay, these monster types, then okay, I'm looking for demons and stuff like that. What are the different names of the demons and stuff like that? Devils are easier in my opinion. Ice devil, I think there's a fire devil, but I know there's definitely ice devil. But anyway, so those are my main issues. I am going to be reading these over time, and when I have more insights, I will talk about them. I did forget one thing to mention. Another thing that inspired my ideas for Aetherbound is originally I was going to go with the Pathfinder 2E method for prepared spellcasters, in the sense that, okay, if you want to prepare a spell, you prepare a spell in this specific spell slot, and then you can cast it at that item spell, versus the 5th edition thing. You just prepare the spell and then you can just cast it in the spell slot. I think 5th edition does the easier method, and it really, in terms of playing the game, it's just easier for players. um, Even though in terms of balance it might skew in favor of the prepared casters, but spontaneous casters, at least in Pathfinder 2e, and I'm pretty sure in 5th edition, they have their own unique things, so you don't have to make an added level of complexity for players, in my opinions. So I agree with that. So I'm going to make that decision, which is very insightful. That's why I got these books, so I can look and see what they've done and try to make Aetherbound more unique than it is. I want it to be a separate thing on its own, but if it gets lumped in, as long as it's an enjoyable system to play. So thanks for watching. If you are excited for more 5th edition content, Pathfinder 2e content, and information about Aetherbound, and I'll be talking about other games that I play in the future that I do enjoy. Now I'm finally enjoying the BG3, mainly because of the story, and I'm getting back into the 5th edition mindset.